As this is the first real step where we'll be using the FPC manual and the accompanying FPC document templates, I want to pause for a second and say a few things about what they're actually used for. Your company has hundreds of different activities, and most likely some of these are already being documented. Here, the bars represent different tasks that are performed in your company, like billing, design, organization of holidays, bring your daughter to work day, and so on. Quite naturally, you pay a lot of attention to some issues that are important to you in your company, and then a bit less attention to others. You might already have a full-blown documented quality management system in place, or you might be just storing your purchase orders. This is represented by the height of the bar in here. What matters is that CE marking requires you only to comply with the harmonized standards mandatory requirements and to have a proof of this. Luckily, the harmonized standard concentrates on a few key activities and sets minimum requirements for a few things inside those activities. This is represented by these horizontal red lines. The standard is not interested in how you organize benefits to your employees. In terms of CE markings, this is totally irrelevant. But then, there are a few things that must be considered, like you must have defined relationship between the employees and your company. Some of the mandatory requirements are such that you might already meet them and even have the necessary proof. For others, you may not meet the requirements and you do not have any proof whatsoever. This is where the pre-made FPC manual with its quality documents comes into the picture. We use our FPC documents to teach you what you must do in practice to CE mark your products. In other words, these FPC documents teach you how you must act in your day-to-day activities to meet the standard's minimum requirements. So treat these documents as guides and actual instruction on what you must do so you can legally CE mark your products, not just as a collection of random documents that do not have any specific function after you're done with this CE wizard. In addition, the FPC manual and the FPC documents are going to be used as the proof that you actually meet the harmonized standards requirements. So it's really important that once you have your FPC system in place, you actually use it. So for example, the FPC manual says in one point, the FPC responsible ensures that all employees who are involved with manufacturing understand their individual responsibilities and duties. This is not meant to be random words that don't have any relevance. Don't just fill in a name here and then toss the file into the bookshelf. Instead, in order to meet the standards requirements, your FPC responsible must actually make sure that your employees participating in your manufacturing understand their responsibilities and duties, and that's it. So always go over all the documents that are included with the help of training videos and the step-by-step instructions and see what they require of you and how to do this. Still, I want to emphasize a few important things about the scope of the FPC system and its documentation. First, the pre-made FPC system only covers CE-related things. So to put it in other words, there are a lot of things that you do in your organization regarding, let's say, personnel that are not listed here. For example, how you organize employees' healthcare and so on. We have not addressed these issues in any way in the FPC system or its documentation. Second, all the requirements addressed in the system are the absolute minimum requirements to CE mark your products. If you see the need to be more thorough or use your existing processes, feel free to do this, but be sure that you still meet the minimum requirement. So to summarize, the FPC guides you on how to fulfill the requirements and produces proof. It includes only the minimum requirements. And you should use the FPC manual and quality documentation as actual instructions on what to do. Don't just let them gather dust on the bookshelf.